What's up, ballers? Welcome to All Drive No Drop podcast, episode number 42. We've got David right here with us. David, how's it going right now?
It's going good, man. I just got back from a wedding and then came home to a lot more paddles. I thought I had a lot of paddles throughout the week, but it looks like I just got a bunch more. So I'm excited to hit all of these, but it's gonna be a lot of work.
There you go. Let's get cooking. I probably hit some of the most paddles I've hit in a week this week. Just I had more time, had a little vacation time. Probably not the best way for me to warm up for Beer City to be hitting a whole bunch of paddles, but you know what? It let me know what choice I made. I felt pretty confident in that choice after hitting everything. There's definitely some like close ones that like made me, like think about it for a second, but this close to a tournament, I don't want to switch or, do anything crazy. But yeah, we'll be at Beer City this weekend. So far, I have at least two paddle giveaways lined up. So let me post on Instagram, and then if you find, I guess you got to find me, but I'll probably be with David. You got to find us, and you could win a free paddle. That's all you got to do. You just got to find us after the post. Probably a story, actually, maybe a post. I don't know. That's why you need to follow us on Instagram, just to at all drive no drop, and then TM. You say yours. I don't remember. Is it TMP or is it
No,
Tickle My Pickleball?
yeah, it's Tickle My Pickleball. I think there's a period
Okay.
after the tickle. But
Okay.
yeah,
I
I
knew
think
there was
I
something.
should join you on this though. I should give away a paddle too. I'll find one to give one away.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be fun. I think a few others have done it, so I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. I know. Hopefully, it's not like someone that I know locally, because there's probably going to be like 50 people I know at the tournament. So hopefully, it's like someone that I don't personally know. But if it is, and they find me first, I'm not giving any like heads up. You got to come find us. Maybe if you're already like watching me play or something, maybe I don't know if that will count. Maybe it will. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how we're feeling.
The
But
the
yeah, if
saddest
you're
thing would be if I like post it and then like oh someone come find me, but none of my
no,
followers
no,
are there,
that,
and I
hey,
just go home with a
you
paddle.
you know what? That's okay. What can you do? I guarantee someone's gonna come find us. Because I know some people that will be there. Will probably be looking out for it now. So at the very least, someone I know will find you.
All right.
And get that paddle. Any other companies want to get in on this? Now's your time to message me. You know where to find me. Uh, and that's it. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I'm really excited to obviously meet David. Really excited to watch Pro Pickleball. I'm actually looking forward to this more than the Nerdy Tourney, just because, like, obviously, biggest thing I wanted to meet you. I've never seen Pro Pickleball either, so like this is going to be really exciting. And I mean, we're going to be courtside. I mean, it's not going to get any better than that. So, going to fully just soak it all in and enjoy it, and trying to get any connections. Any pros watching the podcast, I don't think any do. Hit me up. I'm looking to do some quick interviews. I'm not asking any hard questions. Very simple questions. You can even ask me a question, and it could be hard. It doesn't matter. Right, David?
Yeah. Yep. We're ready
So,
for it.
yeah. But honestly, we're not looking to ask any like gotcha questions. We're looking to have fun, ask fun questions, and just have a blast. So it will be good. But we're good. We have a ton of paddles to talk about. July is a crazy time. I think that there's no way anybody's going to be able to make a review on every single paddle that's coming out right now. So we'll get to a whole bunch. We're going to get to the 11624 Alpha Pro stuff, Komodo Tenet, Gearbox GX2 Powers, the Enhanced 4.5, the Pickleball Apes Harmony, Body Helix Terracore, Vatic Saga V-Cores, the Groove and Laser update, and I think that's it. Maybe David will throw in a couple more curveballs there, but that's all we have on the list. Just a couple, like 7 or so. But yeah, we're gonna start things off with David's question of the week, and then we'll start getting into paddles. So, David, what's that
All right.
question?
All right. So kind of been thinking about this, but do you think we should redefine how we are labeling the measurements for like the types of paddles? So if we're talking about like standard slash wide body right now, we're saying 16 inches and under. And then for saying elongated, we're typically saying it has to be 16.5 and above. But then for hybrid, it has this huge range of being basically in between 16 and 16.5. But the thing is, like elongated paddles they rarely go above 16.5. So like maybe the range there is actually like 16.5 and like sometimes 16.6, but that's really rare. And then when
Mm,
you're looking at like wide body paddles, they usually I feel like the lowest I've seen is like 15.8. So that's like zero point 0.2 inches there and maybe like zero point 0.1 inches for the elongated. So hybrid has like a zero point 0.5 inches basically. Like, do you think we should like rearrange that or maybe like divide the hybrid category up to like kind
mm.
of spread this out a bit more? What do you think?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and I guess backtracking through history, I guess it kind of developed because the original like standard paddle was 16 by 8, and then as people started creating wide bodies, it just became that like okay, wide body 16 inches and under, and then it was either a standard shape or a traditional elongated shape, which was 16.5. So you only had really like two differences, and I think that, and then the first hybrid created came in at like maybe 16.25, 16.3,
Yeah, I was like
and
around
then
there. I was like, yeah.
yeah. So now we've seen a lot of variation. Uh, I think that it would make more sense to, have a tighter range on the hybrid just because the wide body has a tight range and then the elongated has a tighter range. Now, what would that range be? I think it probably makes sense. Like 16.1 and under would be wide body, and then 16.1 to 16.101 to maybe 16.399 would be hybrid. I would include 16.4 and up as elongated, and that way you have that tighter range for a hybrid. Because it's like when the paddle's 16.1, I still feel like it's more towards a wide body, and then when it's 16.4, I feel like it's more towards an elongated. Just to get that tighter range. Now having people adopt that and have everyone agree on it would probably be pretty hard. Uh, but I think that would make sense. But I know if I start saying that or you start saying that in the reviews, people are like, no, 16.5 is elongated, not 16.4. 16.1's hybrid. Like, but I think it would make sense. It would make more sense, like if you're recommending a paddle to someone, you're like, they're like, oh, I really like hybrids, but you're like, oh, well, try the 16.1 inch paddle, and they're like, kind of feels like a more of a wide body standard shape to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Am I gonna fight that fight? Probably not, but I think it would make sense.
Yeah, I think it's something I feel like the reviewers should kind of talk about. But I do agree with you there. Like 16.4 probably makes sense to be like the new elongated since hybrid paddles rarely even go to 16.4. And the thing
Hmm.
is, even like some of the companies are labeling like their elongated paddles. They actually come out at 16.45, and a lot of us kind of just ignore it. We're like, oh, it's elongated, but technically, if you measure some of these elongated paddles, they are in that 16.45 like length.
Yeah.
And but the main reason I kind of brought it up was that because that hybrid range is like so big, it did seem like some companies are kind of like gaming the system in a bit because they knew that the lower they made it, they would get a higher twist weight and a lower swing weight.
Hmm.
So one example that really came to mind was like Huda Mage Pro 2. Like that one, it was 16.1, and but then if you looked at the numbers, it was really good. But then they're advertising it as a hybrid, and technically it's a hybrid, but it played more like a wide body than it did a hybrid. And
Yeah.
so I see like going under 16.2 at that point, it's like, yeah, you're kind of getting like pretty close to being a wide body than you are a hybrid. And hybrid, like when like people are thinking like it's 16.25 or 16.3 because that's what the originals were. But now that they're coming out lower and lower, it's like, should we still categorize these as the same thing or do we like subdivide it? But I think going from like 16.4, like capping that off, setting that, giving like more room for the elongated paddles and standard. I think personally, for my opinion, I was like, I would like, 16 and below still be like standard slash wide body. And then
Okay.
I would do like a subcategory of hybrids. This probably just gets complicated, but this is just like the way I like to see it. It was like 16.2 to 16.4 is like where like the hybrids that we generally are familiar with would be, and then anything
Yeah.
from like 16 to 16.2 is like I don't know, like some short hybrid. I don't have like a name for that, but because that just gets too close to being like a wide body than a hybrid. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's something I'm curious to see like what other reviewers and like what people would think. But I don't think it's something that's going to be like adopted. I think everyone's just kind of ingrained in having okay, anything between 16 to 16.5 is going to be a hybrid, but something fun to think about.
Yeah. I mean, I already stopped like differentiating between standard and wide body just because I was like, well,
Yeah.
like it's too many. I think keeping it at 3 different shapes is a lot easier for people to digest. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're a super paddle nerd, then you can just kind of look at the dimensions yourself, and it doesn't really matter what the name is. You can kind of tell what's going on. But for most people, I think you got to keep it at 3 shapes. So how you
Yeah.
define it, I guess you could just define it however you wanted and just call it the shape, and then for your audience, that's what they're gonna take as advice. And I think who knows? We'll have to think about that more. Maybe it'll be better just to be like, hey, this is how I define it. But then, obviously they're going to go somewhere else and they're like, hey, they said it was a hybrid and you
Yeah.
said it was elongated or vice versa, whatever. And I don't know. I don't know how. We'll see. Let us know in the comments what you think about that.
Yeah.
But that's all we have on that question that for this time. And we'll move on to our quest for finding the best pickleball paddle available for you. And this is sponsored by Bodie Pickleball. They make some of the best grips and tungsten tape that you can find. They make really good arm sleeves. I have been wearing like this blue and pink arm sleeve lately. Probably be rocking that up your city. I've been loving those. And they make some great wristbands, and they have a nice towel as well. I've been using that towel's on my bag right now. But yeah, it's dry grips super important right now. I was using dry grips for most of the paddles. I thought one of the paddles had a good like stock grip. I was wrong. It slipped out of my hand, and I was just very annoyed. I was like, yeah, this is why I don't play any stock grips. They use like the slickest material on some of these stock grips. I don't know where
Yeah.
they find it or why they do it, but it's very annoying. Like I
Probably
wish I
just
could
keep
just
the
play
cost
it.
down.
Yeah, I wish I could play it stock, but like these grips are just terrible in the summer for some of these stock grips. That's why I gotta use the dry grip, keep it fresh, keep it, keeping me from throwing my paddle. I mean, I already throw the paddle enough. I don't throw it, but I'll like just, like you miss something and you're like at the kitchen. I'll just kind of like throw it into the ground. Not like hard, but like just I'll toss it like like a soft frisbee, like a soft frisbee toss. That's it. You ever throw your paddle a little bit?
No, I like to do like the fake Alshon thing where like I just yell and
Oh, you
like kind of
fake
go like
break it on your knee?
yeah, but like I don't press down so then like the knee just kind of pushes it off. I just do it as a
Okay.
joke.
Okay. Okay. I actually have an idea. I might have to tell you about that off air. We'll see if you think is okay to do. But we'll move on to our first paddle, and I guess it's a paddle series, the Alpha Pro Powers. Now, I've been hitting the Hirachi X Pro Power, and these come out late July. I don't know if there's an exact date for these. They're going to be at 200, going down to 190, I think, or 180. Retail
Something like
price is
that,
at
yeah.
200. However,
Yeah,
they do
that's
their
right.
discounts. I can't remember. I think they might do 10 off or they do 10%. I can't remember. Which shape have you hit the most of the Alpha Pro Powers? I've only hit the Hirachi. Couldn't find where I put it, so here it is just for the colorway. This is the Vapor.
Yeah, mainly I hit the Hirache and then the Vapor I hit for one game, but like that was
Okay.
after I had been testing elongated paddle, so I like played terribly with it. But
Gotcha. Well,
yeah, maybe
well, I
this
take
one.
that back. I've played the Vapor. I just haven't played this Alpha Pro Vapor. I played my friends, but
Gotcha.
I and this one is similar construction to their other one, but you got the 10 millimeter cell size here as their Pro
Yeah.
Power. I actually like the Hirachi X a lot more with this construction. I just when I was comparing like the Vapor Pro Power and the Alpha Pro Power, I think I preferred the original Pro Power, but this
Okay.
Alpha Pro Power I prefer to the original Pro Power Hirachi X. I just thought for the elongated shape, it made it feel a lot better, had a lot better touch, and for me the sweet spot seemed a little bit better too. So like just all those slight improvements, I liked a lot more. I played a lot better with this Alpha Pro Power Hirachi X. I really, really enjoyed it. And as I've been using my two-hander more, I did notice the difference with having more room. I'm not gonna lie, it does help. So if you are like a big two-handed user, I understand now. Like that extra handle room really does make a difference when you put two hands. I flick so many one-handers and do one-handed rolls so much that now that I've been trying to force myself to use two-handers, I understand why you like a longer handle, why people like this Hirachi X Alpha Pro Power. It feels really good, and yeah, I've been impressed so far with it. How have you been enjoying it?
It's funny, like before I get into this, is what you were mentioning about the handle. I'm like, I use my two-hander a lot, but I don't need a longer handle. I mean,
You
my
got those
hands, my
small
hand,
hands?
they're not even that small. It's just that like I can crunch up like pretty easily. Like I can scrunch up here and I don't have an
Yeah,
issue. And
I
that
got
might
you.
be a personal thing, but like I generally don't like the longer handles because they just make, especially on an elongated paddle. I like it
Hmm.
better on the other shapes, but on like the elongated, so they just make this area just too unstable. So I like
Okay,
having that like I actually like the handle like capped at like 5.25 or 5.3 just to get that a little bit more stability down here. So I actually like that better. But that's
got you.
just one thing about me. Like I can just scrunch in, but my hands also are
Now,
like massive,
now
right?
I don't
So
understand why you don't like the J2 shape though, for the Honolulu.
yeah, I mean that's because that's a hybrid, so that's just weird. But
Okay,
it's like
fair
with an
enough, fair
elongated,
enough.
it's different. Yeah.
Okay.
But for this one, it's just I think it takes time to like really kind of soften up the face a bit. It comes
Hmm.
out like kind of soft. It's like really similar to the Pro Powers at first. You can kind of feel the difference, but it does take like a few more games for you to feel the difference a bit more. But I was actually doing more comparison against the SLK eras, and this is
Okay.
still like it has more of that hollow feel, which I was kind of surprised about. And
Yeah.
um, I don't. I want to say like I do want to hit it a bit more still because there's a bit of a clash that I see. Like it has that hollow feel, and but then it also just has that like um that wide cell feel as well. And I don't think
Hmm.
it quite goes together like 100%. Like I think it feels better than the Pro Powers, but I don't. Like I was expecting like a more like denser feel on this compared to the Pro Powers. It's
Huh.
just like the difference wasn't as big as I was like expecting, but it might open up a bit more, is what I'm like hoping for. I still like this better than Pro Powers, but I'm gonna say I do probably like the SLK Airs better than this actually because it doesn't
Okay.
have less of that hollow feel.
Okay. I wonder if it helped me like soften it up faster because I was like in some high heat and it was like
Mm.
sometimes sitting in the sun. I don't know, I don't know if that helped. I mean, I can't imagine it hurt. Like like probably helped break it in faster. I'm not sure, but yeah, I didn't do like the trick where you step on the paddle. I know certain
Rocks on the
person's been
steps.
promoting that idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd recommend that, but did not try that on this. I don't know if I will. Okay. Yeah, I will need to take it out there and compare it to the SLK era side by side. Um, I know there's been some hot debate on that stuff, but
Yeah.
I won't say anything at this time about it. Uh, Next, are we good to go on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Going on to the Komodo Tenet, which I wouldn't say they're a new company, but probably haven't been heard from in a while. They had Andre Agassi at one point signed. He's doing a lot of promotion. They kind of took a break, I think, to work on developing their paddle. Uh, this one's interesting. I don't have 100% details exactly what this core construction is. It seems like it's some type of Gen 3 style, and then maybe certain things filled into the cells. We will get more details on that. But so far, this paddle has a ton of pop. Pretty good power and is a little on the stiffer side, I would say. But so far, it's not bad. And this is actually one of the stock grips. I played the stock. This was my fault. I should have known this was slippery. So I got a few like 1.5, 2 games in with it before it started slipping on my hand. Don't have any details on when that's coming out or the price. I imagine sometime later this summer. Did you get any chance to hit with that yet?
Yeah, so I saw you post it on your story, and then I messaged you, and I was like, "Is this paddle even worth hitting?" Just because based on their track record with the Komodo paddles, I was just kind of
Mm-hmm.
unsure if I was gonna hit that. And originally, I was gonna do, I think, a hybrid or a wide body day of that day of testing. But then when you told me that the Tenet was actually pretty good, I switched everything just to hit that one and do an elongated day instead. So I changed my whole plan just for this paddle, and yeah, this one was actually good. Like I was like, oh, I texted you right after, like, you were right. This is actually a pretty good paddle. Like I was really
Yeah.
surprised by that one. But yeah, like you mentioned, pretty powerful, poppy. Definitely, it's like a stiffer one.
Yeah.
Um, definitely their best paddle right now. But it's just like I don't know like if it's that unique or anything, but just compared to what else they've released, it's a pretty good paddle.
I think the pop level kind of maybe not unique. There's some others, but it definitely has like just with not moving the paddle at all, it pops off the face like pretty hard. Like I was having trouble with dinking, just doing the normal dinking warm up at first, just because like the slightest movement was making the ball fly pretty fast. So people that like the ball, like it felt like the dwell time was pretty minimal. Like if you like it to pop off your paddle really fast, then that one's probably going to be an interesting one for you. Like it was. I played okay with it. It was a little harder to control for me, but it definitely has some offensive firepower potential.
It's like got that like higher pitched sound a bit. It kind of reminded me of like a Kevlar core, not like 100% Kevlar, but felt
Okay,
like
yeah.
there might be something in there because it was like that high, like higher pitched sound, and the way how poppy it was reminded me a bit
Yeah.
of like with that Pro Drive Ghost that I. But
Okay. Yeah, there is something different going on in the core. I'm working to understand it. I mean, maybe I'll have to cut it open. I was hoping to get the details on that, but it's got something different than just like a traditional Gen 3. I don't know exactly what though. But we'll get back to you on that. Next up, talking about the Gearbox GX2 power. I don't think you got to hit this yet, right?
yeah,
So
I don't have mine yet.
this is the elongated version. I've got, I think, what, 6 inches of 0.5 gram per inch tungsten tape on there. This thing, at least on that day, it was hitting harder than a Pro 4 Perseus 60 millimeter for me.
Okay.
This thing, and it came in at a 117 swing weight stock. Don't think I measured the twist weight. So pretty maneuverable and probably the best sweet spot for a gearbox elongated paddle so far. I'd put it up there with, like slightly above average sweet spot for like, I guess you would say all the paddles now. Like, I don't, you can't really classify Gen 3 foam, whatever. A pretty good sweet spot. This thing, it's got like a thud sound too. Like maybe, I don't know if it's deeper than like a Yola. It's probably deeper than a Yola, but it was, this one kind of had me questioning if I was going to like switch to it for the tournament just because it was hitting so hard, like with minimal effort, and I would say the pop was like maybe just too much for me to control as well. So I would have to have put more time in it for me to use it in a tournament. But I think that a lot of people are going to like it. It's coming out August 7th, and its retail is $279.99, but they're going to have discount codes for this one, so it'll go down to 252. I think it's going to be pretty popular. They have a hybrid too that comes in at 110 swing weight. I didn't really get to play with that one as much, but this elongated, yeah, it's gonna be up there with the Ripple and the Yola Pro 4. So it's good to just have another option that's up there in the power level with a different style of construction. So we'll get more thoughts on that once David gets to hit more and I hit more with it. But so far, I was pretty impressed
Okay.
with that one. Next, we got the Enhanced Gen 4.5. I believe that's the name of the paddle, unless there's another name on it. Oh, yeah, Gen 4.5, right? I mean, that's the name of it,
I
I'm
think
assuming.
so.
I
Yeah,
didn't
because
see any other name.
the prototype had a name on it, but I don't see it on this one, so I assume it's the Gen 4.5.
Yeah, so that's all I see is Gen 4.5 and Enhanced. So we'll call it the Enhanced Gen 4.5. It's an all foam paddle. I would probably consider it Gen 4 just because,
Yeah, same.
Gen 4 is just all foam. A lot of people are doing different designs. They have like holes in here that don't go all the way through. So I guess, like divots or something. Um, I'll let you go first on this one.
I actually haven't hit the production one. I've only hit the prototype,
I
which I
think it's the
assume are
exact
the same
same.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
same build.
Yeah, I think it's like compared to, I think my initial reaction when I hit it was like I didn't think it was a foam paddle, just
Uh-huh.
because it didn't have that sort of like foam feel that I had. Because before that, the only foam paddle I hit was the True Foam, and I
Uh-huh.
brought this out again. Still kind of feel the same way. Like it doesn't feel like a foam paddle, but it's because it's just the reason I say that because it's a kind of a bit on that stiffer end. But then I was kind of hitting these against some of the other foam paddles, just kind of get a sense like where is this like stacking up. I
Yeah.
don't think it's as like stiff as the like J2NF series. it's not as like powerful as those either. I think this sits a bit more, I would say, in that like all court range of a for like
Uh-huh.
an elongated paddle. Uh, yeah, I mean, if it's like keeps up with like the durability, if um, you know, if price I believe is also just a bit more on the affordable side either. Like if the durability holds up, this is just like a really good like all court style paddle. So overall, just like nothing
Yeah.
too like special about it, but it's still just like great overall.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be 175 before code and then going down to 155. I believe
Okay.
that is the price. Could be subject to change. And that will be available for pre-order August 1st. So, yeah, I agree. It's more of like an all court. Maybe like if you had the scale at all court and power, it'd be like in the middle. It just and I haven't tried. I do need to add weight to it because like carbon true foams transform like quite a bit with weight added. So I'll have to see if adding weight to this helps a lot. I think the sweet spot is it's not is like maybe slightly above average for an elongated paddle. It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's not anything like crazy. It's not like the J2NF out of the box, but it's a good all court paddle. I'll have to see how it plays more with weight, like you were saying, and we'll see where we go from there. It's gonna it's gonna be hard right now. Like there's just so many coming out to stand through the noise. Like it's definitely gonna be a little difficult. But yeah, good stuff there from Enhance and going to be an affordable one. So
Yeah.
that's always nice to. I definitely noticed people asking more about the price lately. So that's definitely something to consider. Moving on to the Pickleball Apes Harmony X elongated, and from this series they're gonna have their V shape, which is their wide body, got that 108 swing weight, 7.15 twist weight. Their S, which is their hybrid, at 114 swing weight, 6.48, and then this X came in at 121, which is their elongated shape, 6.09 twist weight. Gen 3 style construction. I don't know the exact specifics on how everything that's involved on it yet. I believe it's going to be 180 and probably a late July release. I don't know if they have a date on that yet. Hit or miss on the design. I've seen people love it. I've seen people hate it. I'm fine with it. I like it. Like the design. It's fine. I played really well with this paddle. I enjoyed it. It's definitely an all court
Yeah.
paddle, but it's a really good all court paddle. So if you're someone that likes more of an all court, this is like not too poppy, but it's not like super soft either. So it had really good dwell too. I did enjoy that. Really good control and a good sweet spot for an elongated. Overall, I really enjoyed it for an all court paddle. I think if you're in the market for an all court paddle, this is a really solid one that I would put up there and like top of the list.
Yeah.
Did you get to play with those yet?
I grabbed I was looking for it and I grabbed a blue paddle, but then I picked it up. I was like, wait, this isn't the Harmony. Um, but yeah, no, I did hit with it. Like if we're talking about like where I put like the AM's 4.5, like I said, that was kind of all court, but I could probably bump that like a little bit above all court, and then I would
Okay.
put the X below that.
Hmm.
This isn't as powerful as the 4.5, but I would
Yeah.
say like the X shape is. I want to. Did the pulse come in an X shape? I guess I never hit that.
They
With
came
Apes.
out with the X shape like a lot later into the life
Okay,
of the Pulse. I never
okay,
played it though.
that makes sense.
Just
Yeah,
a
because
normal elongated shape basically instead
yeah,
of their 17-inch.
yeah. But yeah, so like I think it's just kind of similar to the Pulse in my opinion.
Okay.
I think there might be like some small changes, but just brief hitting side by side, it felt pretty similar. I was hitting the V's next to each other, the Pulse V and the Harmony V, and then um, didn't notice like too much of a difference. I think I maybe got a little bit more power on the Harmony, and this is like both like brand new.
Uh-huh.
And the X I was hitting is just yeah, it's just like a really good feeling all court style paddle. Like nothing too crazy about it. Like I think might be tough just because a lot of people are kind of chasing power right now. But like if you
Yeah.
do want like a good all court paddle, like it does like have a good feel to it. I think
Hmm.
it could be a really good pick for you
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Pulse would seem to be like pretty popular for all court style paddle, so
until they
I
broke. But I don't
well,
know if the
yeah.
Harmony breaks. Yeah,
I think that was like the idea, and actually, I'm surprised more people don't do it when like you have like let's use an example of the rhombus ripple. When you have like a series that's kind of known for breaking, I think that it's better to just change the name, do a new series, and I think that's maybe what they did here is like, did some slight tweaking, made sure it doesn't break, and then you have
Yeah.
a new series. Unlike the Ripple, which just kept the name, keeps the name, keeps doing it. Version 2, 3, 4, 5, like there's different ways to do it, and I think I would prefer just change the name completely because it's a lot easier to keep track of. But yeah, so if you're into all court style and you're okay sacrificing that power for the control, then I think it's pretty good. This next one is not an all court paddle. It is a banger. It is the Body Helix Flik F1 Terracore, and this thing is one of the stiffer foam paddles. It's all foam. It's one of the stiffer ones I've tried. Very poppy, pretty powerful. It's definitely a power paddle, and I think it's going to be pretty popular. I would say the only thing holding it back is because it's so poppy and the dwell's not there. It's still able to get good spin. It's pretty gritty. But for me, I prefer a little bit more dwell, but I know some people like a little bit of extra pop. What'd you think about the Flik Terracore?
Funny story about this one. So you know how last week I talked about how USPS lost my package for my Pegasus Alpha Pegasus power. So that
Sure.
one actually it ended up turning up. So then now I have uh, another Alpha Pegasus. So now I have three Pegasus. So I'm gonna give one of
Okay.
those away eventually.
Three
But then the thing with
Pegasus.
yeah, but the thing with the body helix is I since after I got the Pegasus, I was like, oh, this is exciting. The USPS on my package. But then
Yeah.
UPS lost this one.
UPS, come on. Come on.
Yeah, they sent it to my old apartment. I went to go pick it up, and then my old apartment like was like, "Oh, he doesn't like it," so they sent it back, and then it got lost. And then, yeah, I just got this one in. Wasn't able to get this into my elongated testing, so unfortunately, I have not hit this one yet. But I was gonna hit it tomorrow.
Dang, that was a long story to say you didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, I had to say something because I was like, no, I didn't hit it. I don't want to seem so lame.
No, it seems like a lot of people have been liking it, and I did like it. And I think for people that are looking for, and I think that's 190. Man, I know and mine came in at 117 swing weight. I know there was a release date on July 15th. I think that's coming to my mind. It's coming out soon.
That's pretty sad.
I'm pretty sure that's right. It just popped into my mind. So that is coming out very soon. Probably won't be able to get a full review on that before that date because I'm going to be a little bit busy this weekend. But yeah, I think if you're looking for an offensive foam paddle, pretty poppy. I think it's poppier than the J2NF. We'll have to see what the power level. I didn't measure anything. It was just all by feel. It was pretty similar for me. So if you want something on the poppier end, that might be it for you.
Okay.
All right, Vatic Saga V Core. Did you get a chance to hit any of these shapes?
Okay, fine. I'll say beforehand that I didn't hit it, and then I'll
But
go
he
into
has a
the
story. He
Yeah.
has a story. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, I did get them, but I just had to leave for the wedding, so I didn't get to hit them. But the funny thing is, like, I just posted a story of like, oh yeah, I was hitting on the Dink Master, and then like as I was hitting it, the UPS person drops it by. It was like, oh, what's this thing? It was asking me about like my Dink Master, and then like I opened the package, I showed her, I was like, oh yeah, I do paddle reviews, so just showing this stuff off, and then I took a picture of like the V cores, and then like I got like all these DMs like, how do they play? How do they play? And I was like, I haven't hit them yet. But yeah, I still
Yeah.
get messages sometimes, people asking me about the V cores. I'm like, sorry guys, I've not hit these yet. I hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah. People definitely are always interested in the Vatic Pro paddles.
Uh,
So for me, tried it out, and I only tried out the Flash short handle so far. Usually, that's my favorite shape from them. So I was like,
that's like the only approved one right now, right? Because the other
I
ones
don't
haven't
know.
been approved fully yet. They've only approved the Flash shorthand.
I'm not
from what I've
sure,
heard.
so I guess that's good. I started with the approved one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just always start since there's 5 different shapes. They have these in their V7, which is their elongated. I guess I can go down the swing weights here. V7 long handle, which I believe is like 575, or is it? I want to say 575. That's 122 swing weight,
Yeah.
V7 short handle, 119 swing weight, Flash long handle, 116 swing weight, Flash short handle, 113 swing weight, and then their Bloom came in at 114 swing weight, which is their wide body, and supposedly it's supposed to be a little bit lower swing weight for the production version. They're going to try to get that down. Because I know people freak out about a high swing weight wide body. They go wild.
Oh, yeah.
They just go
Yep.
wild. But anyway, this is the stiffest foam paddle I have tried.
Okay.
Shout out to my special friend Braden. That's it. It is the stiffest of the foam paddles I've tried. So I wonder how the V7 might, like, I wonder if that's like just this V7 long handle, like maybe too stiff. I don't know. But it's not, and this isn't like on like the stiffest. This is just the stiffest foam paddle. It would still on like the stiffer end, but it's not like, oh, this is so stiff that I couldn't use it. It's fine. It's just on the stiffer end. Very poppy. Sweet spot is it is like pretty jarring how much it drops off, like from the sweet spot to not, just probably because it's so poppy. You can really tell when it doesn't hit the sweet spot. Kind of reminds me of like a Paddletech Bantam when it doesn't hit the sweet spot. Just doesn't die as much, but it's not too far away from that feeling. You're like, man, I didn't hit the sweet spot there. So those are going to be 109, go down to 100 with the code, and I think those come out late July. I don't know if they had a date set yet because I think they're still waiting for the approvals to like officially launch them all.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting option. You're getting like a super poppy paddle. The power level I would still put below what the J2NF would be. And you're getting a smaller sweet spot. Still getting pretty good spin, but it doesn't have that much dwell because it pops off pretty fast. They still have a lot of grit, as they're known for. So if you like a lot of pop and you're looking for a cheaper foam paddle, it's going to be a good option. But if you're like someone that likes dwell and you want a bigger sweet spot, which you could help with the weight, and you don't like stiff, then I would stay away from it. So yes, it's going to be a good option at 100. But I don't think it's going to be something that fits as many people as some of the other paddles. That's just my first initial impression, but I like it's definitely something kind of you said you didn't play with it. Sorry, I lost in my train of thought.
No, I like tapped it against the Dink Master, so I can't give you any thoughts.
Okay, yeah. So that's how I feel about it so far. That's just on the Flash. So I'm wondering maybe if I'd like the Bloom more. I don't think I would like the elongated versions of this if it's just going to make the stuff that I don't like worse, but we'll see. But yeah, that'll be coming out soon. We'll see. We'll see how what people think. But if you're interested in a cheaper foam paddle that has a ton of pop, that's going to be, I guess, the cheapest option for you. So...
Sure.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Groove and Laser. Just a little update on that. It tested at a 0.44 PB core, and that means that it's going to be sunset, I believe, May 1st, 2026. So you still have a ton of time that you could play that paddle. And I believe he was selling it at a reduced price, or at least if you pre-ordered it, he was going to reduce the price and give you a refund, or I don't know how that works. But he's going to try to tweak things and get it like recertified at a lower PB core. But that is just like, I was getting ready to do the review, but I'm like, if it's going to be out of, like even 10 months, which is a long time. So I mean, like most people probably watching don't play with a paddle for 10 months, right? Like if you buy it, you'll probably use it maybe at the longest to the rest of the year. I don't know. But I was like, I don't know if I want to like start recommending a paddle that's going to be sunset, right? Like, so
Yeah, that's fair.
but you can still buy it. It looks like you can buy it at a reduced price too, so maybe it's still a good option. I don't know what the price is, but and it's a good paddle. I saw different opinions on it. I think the power level is like around the J2NF. I think that it wasn't as big of a sweet spot. And it was a little stiffer, and a little poppier. I prefer the J2NF still, like, but it wasn't like far off being as good. So, a little disappointing. And I personally like the carbon fiber version of the Gruben foam paddle more. So I'm hoping that gets approved. because I know he was tweaking that, because that one tested. I don't know what it tested at, but it tested above the limit. So I'm hoping that one comes out. I think I just prefer the feel of carbon fiber over some of these stiffer Kevlars. Did you get a chance to hit the laser?
No, I didn't get those.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. So if you want a discount and you're okay with it being sunset May 1st, go check that out. And I think that covers pretty much all my paddle. Well, and I didn't get to hit this, but this is the QE Labs Canon. I don't
Okay.
know if this is like a change from their original Canon, but this is there's QE Labs is partnering with a local facility that's coming up in my area, and I'm friends with the owners. It's called Get Some Pickleball. You might have seen some of those highlights in my reviews. It's like the black courts with the white lines, the bison head, and everything. So it's called Get Some. They're doing like a co-branding thing, so they're going to sell, QE Labs paddles there that will have Get Some. I don't know if it, and then you can see here they got the bison head with the cannon there.
Gotcha.
So just showing this off. I haven't hit it at all yet, but I think that's pretty cool that they're partnering with a brand local facility type combo. So
Like the
shout out
Canon's
to
an
them.
older paddle, right? At least.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure if this is like an upgraded cannon or if this is the same cannon. But I think they're gonna have like all their paddles eventually with like able to get it in with the Get Some branding on it too.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think this one says QE Labs on it, right? Yeah, so I think instead of QE Labs, the paddles will say Get Some if you want to get it with Get Some. So shout out to JJ, CJ, Larry. Appreciate what you guys are doing. So that's probably where you'll see most of my gameplay footage come in the fall, winter coming up. So look forward to that, and maybe we'll try to do like a podcast with them sometime. Either bring them on here or do a live one. Something different. You don't hear much like from the owners of a facility side, so I'll do something different there. And then not my last question, but we'll go with David has a paddle award to give out. What is that paddle award's title?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really have an idea for this, but basically,
Okay, we'll
just for
call
the
it
viewers,
paddle award.
yeah, just so the viewers are aware. I think one thing we're kind of floating around is like during this segment, we talk about like kind of like the paddles we've been hitting throughout the week, and like talk for this segment, and I thought it'd be a fun idea if like every week we kind of just give away like a random award to like one of these paddles, and I can go first this week, but. The
Okay.
award I'm going to give is like the surprising one, and that's going to be the Komodo Tenet. That was just one that like I thought was probably going to play just like the Onyx paddle that I also have, but just kind of surprised me a bit there. So most surprising
Okay.
paddle hit was this week, Komodo Tenet.
Well, I can't do the same one as you, but it was surprising, like how like when I started hitting it and the noise and the pop of it, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, there's definitely something different here.
Yeah.
Because we've hit so many like just kind of like clone paddles. It's just like, it's exciting when you feel something different. I'm gonna go with the most surprising for me this week was this GX2 Power, just like how powerful it was, because really you get people saying all the time that their paddle's really powerful, but we haven't tried many paddles that are as powerful as these Yola Pro 4s. And it's just good to get some more competition at that power level. So when someone comes to me and they're like, I don't want to play with a Yola, or I'm just looking for something different. And we'll have to see. I don't know. I think this is softer than the Yola Pro 4. It's not like soft, but I think it's a little softer than the Yola Pro 4. But just, when I'm playing that all drive lifestyle, this was a fun, like I didn't even hit a drop with it, okay? I'm like, what are we doing on the court? We're not even dropping with this paddle. We're just ripping it, and I had a lot of fun with it. So that was my most surprising. Like I was supposed to keep going through some other paddles, and I brought it back out because I'm like, let me hit some more tries with this real quick just to see, because I was flirting with it a little bit to see if I was going to play it in the tournament, and I'm like, you know what? I realized, I came back to my senses. I'm like, you're not playing better with it right now. Like, you're going to need more time. So I went back for the main. We got that Honolulu
that was my
J2NF.
guess. Yeah, I figured you're gonna
Yeah.
go with that.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, maybe I'm a 5-0 with that paddle. Like who knows? Like I just was playing really really well with it. Um, yeah, my drives are on with it. I've been hitting more like drips with it than drive. I mean, I still hit the drives, but like I've been hitting some really good drips with it, and like my hands with it have just been they've been fire. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll bring it. I'll bring the gearbox just in case. Like maybe it's super hot and humid, and
Yeah, that's fair.
I
Yeah.
want the biggest gun you could get. But right now, it's not like the J2NF lacks power, so it's for me. It keeps me very consistent. I play the best with it still, so we're just gonna stick with it and continue on. But oh yeah, one more shout out. I don't know if you saw. Yeah, I had a Instagram reel about the Dinkaroo this week,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna bring that to Beer City. That's actually really cool. Like how fast you can. It's the Dinkaroo is like a portable net. That's a small portable net, so it fits in like a bag. That's I don't know, maybe like 2 feet long. Not heavy at all, but you can set it up under a minute and basically use it to warm up dinks or hands. If the courts are too busy or you're at a tournament and want to stay loose, I think that's a great idea. Only $75 too. Also, you could set it up in your driveway. I think I'm going to try to get my kids training on it too. It's just like I have like a regular net, but that's just like if you don't have a big driveway, that's just really cumbersome to set up. And if you can just pop this thing up, I think it's 2 feet wide, I want to say. Sounds about right. I'm going to say 2 feet. Someone will, Dinkaroo owner will come correct me. But it's enough room to like warm up your dinks in your hands. So I think that's a super cool product to if you're just wishing, I've been at tournaments before and we set up like chairs,
Yeah.
and like
I've seen like the
whatever.
luggage.
Exactly. Like yeah, I see people do that all the time, but like I imagine most people would prefer to just set up a net. It just simulates more realism, and that guarantees you're at the right height level, right? Like who
Yeah.
knows what you're doing with your luggage or chairs? We don't know what height we're at, so I think that's a pretty cool product to check out if you're interested in something like that. Anything else, David, that you have on your mind?
Speaking of the Dinkaroo, have you tried that enhanced mini net? I got one. I still need to try that one out. I was wondering
I
if you
did
tried that
not
one.
know they had. I didn't know they had one. So no, I haven't. Is it similar?
No, I think it's like not like a Dinkaroo, but it's like actual like a smaller net and like there's the
Oh, okay.
line for like the court. So it's like just like a smaller court there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that one wouldn't be bad if you have space for like permanent stuff, but I imagine like you still have to set it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think it'll take more setup, but I
Okay.
think that's one I think I can actually fit that in my garage. So I'm
Okay.
excited to try that one out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either. I'm for this like going to like a tournament or like even if you're going to a busy open play and you have like cement that you can use, I think it's perfect. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even mind if like facilities just had these like set up so like on the side for people to
Yeah.
warm up. I think that would be pretty cool because you could still play a little bit on like hard carpet. So if
Yeah.
you have like yeah, so I think it's a pretty cool thing. I think it's like easier to warm up on that than you know chairs or the wall or something. So if you have another person. But besides that, I don't have anything else. And I think next week we're gonna try to do a live podcast, whether it's like a hotel room. I'm thinking we probably just do it like live at like in the Beer City Open. Like hopefully the noise will work out or
Yeah.
whatever, but we'll figure it out. If it doesn't work, what can you do? What can you do? Life happens, but I think we can make it work. We'll make it
Yeah.
work. Anything else for today?
I think I'm good for this week. Excited to see you next
All
week.
right.